So, Daniel, thank you for joining me. Welcome. We're doing this on a another sort of cold February morning, Monday morning before the season starts. I'm going to hand it straight over to you, though, mate, and just introduce yourself. And what have you won fairly recently ahead of this season?
Hi, my name is Daniel Takyi. I'm 16 and I recently won the Fiesta Junior Scholarship.
I've got so much I want to ask. It's very exciting. But going into this, these scholarships, the Fiesta Junior Scholarship, all this stuff, they're such big opportunities for racing drivers, aren't they? So
Yeah,
it's exciting stuff.
yeah, it's really exciting. The opportunity just to race fully funded for free is something you don't see very often, and it's quite a big opportunity. So very grateful for it as well.
So looking back, when did you first come across the scholarship, and what made you actually want to sign up and do it?
So for me, it was in 2024. I competed in the Ginetta Junior Scholarship, and it went fairly well, but obviously didn't win it. So was looking around for more opportunities, something that I can do, and came across the Fiesta Junior Scholarship on Instagram, and I thought I might as well have a go and see how it goes.
And with the Ginetta one you did, surely with that, although it didn't go fully to plan, obviously you didn't win it, you would
Yeah,
have learned from that and then used that in your experience to go to the Fiesta one.
for me that was a huge learning curve because it was the first time I ever got into a car, and from
Mm.
then I only done rental karting, so it was a huge jump, huge step up, and it was something that was completely alien to me. But I took a lot from that, a lot of the learnings, a lot of the driving technique, how the whole scholarship event goes, and took it with me into the scholarship this year.
And what a huge jump up going from just sort of rental karting, which don't get me wrong, is brilliant. I've done plenty of it. It's great fun and gets very competitive. But that is a huge jump up, isn't it, from the rentals up to proper race cars? What was that dynamic like? Was it a bit daunting?
To be honest, it wasn't too daunting, mainly because of the work I did on the sim beforehand. I think the sim was probably the main factor as to why I won. I think a lot of the preparation beforehand was done on the sim. A lot of the work was, sim related, and that's really what took me to winning the scholarship.
Absolutely. Well, so talk us through the process then, because these scholarships are always, I think, really interesting. They kind of judge you on all sorts of different things. It's not just about being quick in a race car.
Yeah,
So when you sort of showed up for the first day of it, what was that process like getting started?
it was quite nerve wracking at the beginning because you don't really know what to expect, but you get your schedule. You have 3 sessions during the day. You have media, you have fitness, and you have driving. For me, I had the driving first, then I had the media and fitness second, which I feel like wasn't the best combination because after the driving, I didn't really want to do anything else. So
Hmm.
yeah, it was quite a lot to do
Hmm.
over the days, especially since I made it to the final. A lot more driving, a lot more work to do. It was quite hard to keep focus because a lot of driving sessions, and you want to do well. You don't really know what other people are doing as well, so it's quite hard to know how you're doing as a person. And yeah,
And that's the thing. The amount of drivers that they get going to these events, it's always so competitive. So I imagine that was an interesting dynamic with so many other sort of talented drivers there. That the competition is very high, isn't it?
yeah, it's extremely high. And for me, I really wanted to know how I was doing compared to everyone else, but they don't tell you the lap times, they don't tell you how you're doing. For me, it was just on track, trying to gauge where other people were on track and see if I was gaining or if I was losing time. That was the only way I could gauge myself because I wanted to know whether I was being competitive or not, or, I was falling behind. So yeah.
Surely, not knowing the lap time, it's an interesting dynamic because it's a good opportunity to just sort of focus on yourself and what you're doing. But like you said, that's probably easier said than done when you're on a racetrack. You want to be competitive and you want those answers because sometimes it's not always easy to tell, is it?
Yeah, it's incredibly hard to tell because they keep it. You don't really know how you're doing. I didn't realize I was doing so well until I won, basically. I didn't know whether I was going fast, slow, whether other people were, 4 tenths quicker, or I was like 6 tenths slower. I don't know. Just have You have no idea how to gauge how you're doing, so it's very hard to know.
I bet you obviously excited. Firstly, just to get back behind the wheel of a car because any opportunity to get that is good. But then obviously, like you mentioned, you've got the other aspects of it with the fitness and the media and stuff. I mean, what were your sort of thoughts on doing those? Because it's obviously a different challenge, and I mean, I know from experience of being an interviewer, not every young driver is particularly fan of being interviewed or doing media and stuff like that. So what was sort of the dynamic of doing those other things as well?
For me, it was incredibly hard because straight after jumping out the car, driving is obviously what I like doing, is what I enjoy doing, but the media and the fitness was quite intensive because I had to keep focused throughout the whole thing, which was, I think, the hardest part. And the motivation to keep going was quite low after driving because you don't really want to do anything else. But it was good, but I had to push through it because obviously I wanted to win. I wanted to do my best and I wanted to make the most out of what I had. So, yeah.
Oh, good stuff. I mean, through the day, you're doing all these sort of these tests, I suppose, and you're being judged on it. But the panel of judges that you have at the events as well, there's some big names there, and I'm sure you learnt a lot from those guys as well, because the BRSCC and the Fiestas, they always get some great names in to come and help out at those events, don't they?
Yeah, the drivers there were, for me, very important. They helped me a lot through it. For me, the biggest help for me was Ada Moffat. He was, for me, he was my favorite instructor on the panel, let's say. I felt very comfortable with him in the car. He was helping me to push harder, made me feel very comfortable, and I just felt good being around him. So, yeah.
Oh, because I think he's a very, very underrated driver, and I think, he's still young, but he's got a lot of experience in different cars, but also, he was in your shoes, being such a young driver coming into motorsport. So so it's nice they're not just there to judge you, they're there to help as well. And I think anyone that's doing that sort of thing, they'd be silly not to listen to those guys, because they are there to help, and they know best, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Everyone there was incredibly helpful, incredibly kind. They don't just want to pick the best driver and leave everyone else. They want to help everyone grow and get into motorsport. So they were all incredibly helpful.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, as you went through the event, you kind of got down to the final group of drivers. When you get to that point, what are you thinking? Was it a mix of emotions in the sense that you're proud to be there, but you just want to get over the finish line first, or what's that dynamic like?
Me, I was just excited, to be honest. Every bit of time that I could get on the track for me was incredibly valuable, so I don't know how to describe the feeling. It was more excitement than nervousness, because just getting down to that point was a huge achievement for me, and I was really excited, really happy for that. But at the same time, I did want to win, and I did want to do my best. So I just had to block all of that out and just go out there and do my best.
Yeah, and focus. I guess it's easier said than done, I suppose. But then, obviously, you got the good news. What was that moment like when you sort of found out?
For me, it was more of a relief, because I did the Junior Scholarship last year, didn't go to plan, and this year I kind of sacrificed a lot just to make it to the scholarship. So to win it and, get that opportunity is huge for me, because I understand the sacrifice that my parents made for me to be in this position. So I was very grateful for it at the same time, but it was also a huge relief because it was kind of my last opportunity at the same time.
Yeah, and what a great opportunity it is. And like you said at the start, it's a massive sort of thing being able to go racing under a scholarship, because motorsport is very tricky to get into, isn't it? The financial sort of commitment is huge. So to sort of have a season funded and have that support is going to be massively helpful for you as a young driver, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly important. It's not often you see people just giving out a season of racing for free, basically. So without this, I wouldn't be racing. So very grateful to the BRSCC for putting this on, and it's going to be a huge help.
Yeah. So this was obviously tail end of last year, wasn't it? The scholarship. So obviously it's been a little while. It seems like time's flying at the minute. But what have you sort of been up to since then?
Just preparing on the sim. That's the most I could do right now. You can't test every day. So just putting the work in on the sim, on all the tracks that I have coming up this year, and making the most of it, to prepare myself to being on track this year.
I bet. I mean, a lot of drivers I speak to are kind of keen to get the winter period out of the way and get into the new season. But I bet for you, sort of going into your first proper season, that's even more so. I'm sure you're kind of just waiting to get going now.
Yeah, I just want to start now, to be honest. I want to know how it feels all again, see where I am in the field, know how competitive I am, and see where I end up being.
Mm-hmm. And with that, what's the Fiesta Junior car like to drive? Because obviously you would have driven it at the scholarship. What's it like?
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun to drive. it's not an easy car to drive. Sometimes, it can be quite hard to drive. Um, it's front wheel drive, so it's not the easiest car to drive, but it's very fun. So
And that's huge as a driver because you'll be able to learn from that if it's a challenge. Obviously, it needs to be enjoyable, but like you said, sort of the beauty of the sim racing as well is you can get so many laps in whenever you want. It's a lot more accessible than, like you said, just booking a test day because yeah, it's easier said than done sometimes, isn't it?
yeah, it's much easier said than done because you can't just go out and drive every day. Motorsport is quite an expensive sport, so putting the work in on the sim and correlating that onto track is very important as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, the season's not too far away. We've got a little bit still to wait. But is there anything sort of standing out to you that you're most excited for, or is it just for the whole thing?
I think it's the whole thing as a whole. Going to all these tracks that I've watched on telly, and I've been on the sim. I just want to see what it looks like in real life. I think that's going to be very exciting for me.
Compared to the sim, do you think there'll be big changes between, like you say, all these tracks like the back of your hand on,
Yeah.
iRacing, a set of course or whatever it is, but then actually going there in person to compete and actually on the track? Surely there's going to be some big differences, as good as sim racing is.
I think the biggest difference for me is going to be the width of the track and, having all the cars around me. That's not something that I'm particularly used to from being on the sim. So it's going to be important that I improve my racecraft and adapt to that on track. So I make the most of it as well.
Is there any circuits that you're particularly looking forward to going and driving?
For me, it's Silverstone.
Yeah.
Very iconic track. Really looking forward to it. And I've done countless laps in the sim, so really want to see what it looks like in real life.
And surely combined with that is the history of it as well, in the sense that, Formula One, all the big categories around the world have raced there, haven't they? So that's a cool thing to say that then you've raced there as well.
Incredibly cool thing. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's going to be good. It's crazy that the season is not too far away. I think everyone's looking forward to it. Just looking back to the scholarship because I'm sure the season will fly and we'll be sort of that time next year where we've got the new people coming in for the scholarship. What advice would you give to any drivers that kind of are thinking about making the jump and signing up to one of these scholarships, whether it's Fiestas, whether it's one of the other ones? What sort of would you say to them if they're thinking about it and they're after some advice?
For me, instantly, I would say just do it. Just do it. It's such a big opportunity. There's not really anywhere else in the UK or in the world, to be honest, where you can get this kind of experience. It's so valuable. The amount of track time, the learning, the people that you meet there is genuinely invaluable. You're going to get so much out of it, and it will just help you to push harder and to achieve this goal. So for me, I would just say do it, sign up, and enjoy it. Make the most of it.
And I'm sure you'd agree with the fact that you've done the Ginetta scholarship in the past and didn't quite win it, and obviously there was countless other talents in the Fiesta one that you did, but obviously didn't win. Just because you don't win, you can still then go on to other things, can't you? So it's a great way to actually just get your foot in the door, network, and meet some great people, and just another excuse to get behind the wheel of a race car, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's not as much as I'm sure everyone wants to win. It's not all about winning. It's about the people you meet there, the learning you gain from it, the track time. It's all incredibly valuable and it's all incredibly important as well. So yeah, just take the jump, make the most of the opportunity, and just have fun as well.
For sure. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to the season now. It'll be good. Just to finish off, whenever I do an interview like this via video call with any driver, I like to give them the opportunity at the end if they want to give any shout outs or thank yous to anyone, because I know, as you said earlier, how big of a commitment motorsport can be, and it's a lot of hard work, isn't it? So if there's anyone you want to give a mention to or a shout out to, now's your opportunity.
For me, I want to say a huge thank you to Mark Watts, the BPC Motorsport owner. He was an incredible help for me. He was, guiding me throughout the whole process. He truly believed in me and he really knew that I could do it. So I want to say a huge thank you to him.
Very nice. Well, it should be good. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the season. Great to chat with you. Massive congratulations on the scholarship. I'm sure it's going to be a great year. And it'll be great to see you racing in the Fiestas not too in the distant future. It's not going to be long to go now. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No worries at all. Keep up the good work, mate.
Thank you.